Once you turn 80, these 5 things happen whether you like it or not. Imagine reaching 80 and realizing your body has started following a new set of instructions, ones you never wrote and no one ever explained. The way food tastes, the way your skin heals, even the way your mind drifts off at night, all begin to change in quiet, puzzling ways. After 4 decades as a neurologist, I've seen this happen to everyone, no matter how fit or disciplined they were. It's not a failure of willpower or a punishment of time. It's something deeper, almost poetic. Your body doesn't just age, it reorganizes. It rewires itself to survive under new rules. And once you see those rules clearly, you'll understand why your body still has strength, just expressed differently than before. Is aging really a slow decline, or is it the body learning a new rhythm? Science now shows there are 5 key shifts that happen once you cross the threshold into your 80s. Each one reshapes the way you sense, heal, move, think, and rest. But they're not signs of the end, they're signs of adaptation. If you know how to work with them, not against them, you can live with more ease and awareness in this remarkable chapter of life. If this sounds like something you felt too, you're not alone, and that's why we're here. Tap that thumbs up if you'd like more gentle tips like this. Now, let's talk about what you can start doing today. Think of aging as your body's final adaptation phase, a sophisticated form of self-preservation. Decades of living, breathing, and recovering from every challenge have taught your cells how to survive differently. Your genes adjust, your organs cooperate in quieter ways, and your internal clock begins to favor protection over performance. It's as though your body says, "I've kept you alive this long, now let's conserve what matters most." When you understand this reprogramming, every small change makes more sense. The extra salt on your plate, the slower healing after a scrape, the vivid emotions that surface unexpectedly, the muscles that feel less steady, the restless nights that come without warning. None of these are random. They are your body speaking a new language of balance. In the next few minutes, we'll explore 5 remarkable shifts that occur inside almost every person over 80. How your taste and smell evolve, how your skin learns to heal differently, how your brain rewires, how your muscles adapt, and how your sleep clock quietly turns. Each change tells a story, and each story holds a way to keep living with grace. So, take a deep breath, settle in, and let's begin with the first one, where your senses start to whisper before your body does. Shift number: taste and smell. Fade. At first, it's almost unnoticeable. You take a sip of your morning coffee and realize it doesn't taste quite the same. Dinner feels blander, no matter how much seasoning you add. It's not that the recipe's changed, it's your body whispering that your senses have quietly begun to shift. After 80, many people describe food as flat, as though someone turned down the volume on flavor itself. What's really happening isn't in your imagination, it's biology. Over the years, your tongue gradually hosts fewer taste buds. Those tiny sensors that once picked up every hint of sweetness, salt, and spice begin to fade. The body also slows down the replacement of old cells, so when a taste bud dies, a new one doesn't always appear. Combine that with a weaker sense of smell, which makes up most of what we call flavor, and suddenly even your favorite soup can feel muted. Meals that once brought joy start to feel like chores. Dorothy, a retired chef from Illinois, told me that one day she realized her famous tomato bisque tasted like warm water, so she began adding more salt, then more butter, trying to bring the memory of flavor back. What she didn't notice was how much sodium she was adding. Within a year, her blood pressure crept higher, and she found herself sitting in her doctor's office, puzzled by the change. It wasn't her cooking skills that slipped, it was her taste sensitivity. Her body had quietly shifted from celebration to compensation. But there's good news: you can still bring flavor and safety back to your plate. Staying hydrated keeps your mouth moist and helps carry flavor molecules to your tongue. Instead of reaching for the salt shaker, try herbs like rosemary, thyme, or garlic. A splash of lemon, a sprinkle of paprika, or a dash of vinegar can wake up dulled taste buds far better than salt or sugar ever could. Choose foods with natural color and texture: crisp apples, juicy oranges, roasted vegetables, because the more senses you engage, the more satisfaction you'll feel. It's also wise to check your sense of smell regularly. If you ever notice that food spoils without you realizing it, or if you can't detect smoke or gas, mention it to your doctor. Sometimes a loss of smell can affect safety long before appetite. Gentle scent training, sniffing. Familiar aromas like coffee, vanilla, or citrus each day can help keep those neural pathways active. Losing taste and smell doesn't mean life loses its flavor. It simply means your body is asking for a gentler kind of pleasure, one that relies more on awareness than intensity. So, slow down at your next meal, smell the steam, notice the warmth, appreciate the colors. Even when flavors fade, the joy of eating can still feed your soul. And this sensory change is only the beginning, because the next shift goes even deeper beneath the surface of your skin, where your body's ability to heal begins to change its rhythm too. Shift. Number 4. Skin forgets how to heal. Picture this. You're opening the mail one morning, and a small paper cut appears on your finger. A week passes, then 2, and that tiny mark still hasn't closed. It's not deep, it's not infected, it just lingers. Many people in their 80s notice this and wonder, why does my skin take forever to heal now? The truth is, it's not because your body stopped trying. It's because your skin has, in a way, forgotten the recipe for repair. When we're young, our skin is like a fast, organized construction crew. A scratch signals the workers' cells rush in, rebuild collagen, and close the gap quickly. But with age, the instructions those cells follow start to blur. The fibroblasts, the tiny builders that knit wounds together, don't remember their old efficiency. They arrive late or take detours, unsure of how to finish the job. Scientists call this a kind of cellular memory loss, but you can think of it as the body choosing patience over speed. Over time, the outer layer of skin also becomes thinner, like a favorite sheet that's been washed too many times. Blood vessels stiffen, carrying fewer nutrients to the surface. With less circulation, healing slows even more. That's why small scrapes or bruises can linger for weeks and sometimes turn darker before they fade. I once met Marjorie, an 82-year-old gardener who adored her roses. She showed me a tiny nick on her wrist that had been there for nearly a month. I keep cleaning it, but it just won't close, she said. She was doing everything right: gentle washing, bandage changes, but her skin was simply taking its time. We added small changes: more water through the day, a little vitamin C and collagen powder with breakfast, and 15 minutes of morning sunlight on her porch to help her body make natural healing compounds. Within weeks, the cut began to shrink. Her smile said everything: relief, pride, and a quiet sense that her body still remembered how to recover. You can help your skin do the same. Hydration is key, inside and out. Moisturizers with hyaluronic acid or ceramides lock in water and keep the barrier soft. A diet rich in citrus, berries, or leafy greens supports collagen renewal from within. And for those with chronic slow healing, doctors sometimes suggest gentle therapies, low-level laser treatments, or peptide-based creams to remind skin cells of their task. So if you find that your bruises linger or small wounds take their time, don't lose heart. Your skin isn't failing, it's just asking for more care, more patience, and a bit more kindness. It's the body's quiet way of saying, I still know how to mend, just at a slower, wiser pace. And as we move deeper into these changes, the next shift takes us from the surface of the skin to the center of the mind where the brain begins its own remarkable act of adaptation. Shift number 3. The brain rewires itself. Your brain isn't braking, it's rerouting traffic. Think of a busy city where a few main roads close down for repairs. Cars still find their way, just through smaller side streets. That's what happens inside your head as you age. Some of the highways that once carried memories and quick thoughts, those white matter connections start to thin with time. But the brain is clever. It begins creating detours, new pathways that keep messages moving, even if they take a little longer to arrive. This is why you might walk into the kitchen and forget why you went there, or pause mid-sentence trying to recall a name. It can feel frustrating, even scary, but it's rarely a sign of something serious. It's the brain adjusting, adapting, and rebalancing after decades of work. The old roots fade, but new ones quietly appear, linking areas that used to be separate. It's a remarkable act of self-preservation, your brain choosing connection over perfection. I remember meeting Albert, an 84-year-old retired engineer. He chuckled as he told me, "I can't remember what I had for lunch, but I can still smell the gardenia my wife wore on our wedding day." He wasn't joking. His recall of the details was spotty, but the emotion was crystal clear: the joy, the warmth, the sunlight in that moment. That's because the emotional centers of the brain, the ones that store feeling rather than facts, stay strong long after analytical circuits begin to fade. We forget data, but we remember love. And that's what makes the aging brain so human. It doesn't cling to numbers or appointments, it protects meaning. It chooses to hold on to stories that made you laugh, songs that comforted you, faces that gave you peace. The trade-off is small delays, occasional blanks, a slower rhythm of recall. But beneath it all, your brain is still very much alive, learning new ways to stay connected to life. You can help those new neural paths grow stronger. Gentle stimulation keeps the mind awake: crossword puzzles, short walks in nature, or conversations that stretch your thinking just a little. Even cooking a new recipe or listening to unfamiliar music sparks new activity. Every small challenge lights up the brain's alternative routes, keeping signals flowing with more clarity and speed over time. So the next time you pause mid-story or search for a word that's on the tip of your tongue, take a breath and smile. It's not decline, it's adaptation. It's your brain doing what it's always done best, finding another way forward. And speaking of forward, the next change takes us from the mind's rewiring to the body's foundation, where your muscles begin their own quiet transformation. Shift number 2, muscles begin to consume themselves. Deep beneath the skin, another quiet shift begins to unfold. Your muscles, the same ones that once lifted groceries with ease or helped you climb a set of stairs without thought, start to slowly shrink. Not because you stopped using them, but because your body has changed how it manages energy. Scientists call this sarcopenia, but you can think of it like a house running low on firewood. When fuel gets scarce, the body starts burning its own furniture to stay warm. For decades, your muscles served as both strength and storage, keeping a reserve of proteins and amino acids that your organs could draw from in times of stress. But after 80, hormones like testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone decline. The balance between building and breaking down muscle tips in the wrong direction. The body still breaks muscle tissue during daily life, but now it struggles to rebuild it as quickly. Over time, that slow imbalance turns tone into softness and steadiness into wobble. I once met Henry, a retired farmer from Kansas, who told me he still woke up at dawn every morning out of habit. But instead of heading to the barn, he'd sit by the window with his coffee and watch the sun rise over the fields he used to work. "My body's not tired," he said quietly. "It just feels hollow." His legs, once strong enough to carry heavy bales of hay, had grown thin. His grip had weakened, but his spirit still sturdy as the oak trees outside his home. With small steps, literally, he began reclaiming his strength. Light chair squats in the kitchen, resistance bands while watching the evening news, protein at every meal. Within months, he moved more easily, stood taller, and smiled wider. The work was gentle, but it reminded his body, I still need this strength. That's the key. Muscles are not just for lifting, they're the body's backup system. They support your balance, help regulate blood sugar, and store nutrients that feed your immune cells and even your brain. When they fade, your resilience fades too. But when you move, even a little, your body listens. A short walk after breakfast, slow stretches in the living room, or light gardening can reignite that cycle of renewal. Add protein throughout the day, eggs, beans, fish, or yogurt, and stay hydrated, because muscles depend on water to function smoothly. So if you notice your steps feeling less steady or your arms losing power, don't see it as weakness, see it as a message. Your muscles are asking to be reminded that they still have a purpose. Every gentle move, every mindful bite of nourishing food tells your body, don't shut down yet, I still need you. And next, we'll look at a change that unfolds in the quiet hours of the night when the body's inner clock begins to rewrite the rhythm of sleep itself. Shift number 1. The sleep clock flips. It's 3 a.m. The world outside is still. You're wide awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the faint hum of the refrigerator down the hall. You're not upset, just puzzled. You went to bed early, felt tired, and yet here you are, fully alert before dawn. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people in their 80s experience the same strange shift, falling asleep earlier, waking up in the middle of the night, then feeling drowsy by mid-morning. It's not restlessness or bad sleep habits, it's biology rewriting time. Inside your brain is a tiny structure called the circadian clock. Think of it as your body's built-in conductor, guiding when to feel sleepy, when to wake, and when to release the hormones that keep your days and nights in rhythm. In younger years, that clock follows sunlight naturally. But as we age, our eyes let in less light, and the brain's ability to read those cues fades. The result, your internal schedule drifts. Morning feels like the middle of the night, and night feels like morning. This change doesn't just affect sleep, it ripples through the whole body. Your heart rate, body temperature, and even digestion depend on that daily rhythm. When it slips out of sync, you may notice your energy dipping unpredictably or your mood feeling uneven. Scientists have also found that immune cells, which usually repair and clean up during deep sleep, become less active when the sleep cycle breaks. That's why maintaining a steady rhythm isn't just about rest, it's a quiet form of self-care for your brain, heart, and immunity. Evelyn, 82, shared that she used to wake at 2 or 3 a.m. almost every night, then drift off again after sunrise. She thought it was insomnia, but when she started sitting on her porch for 20 minutes of morning sunlight with her coffee, keeping her breakfast and bedtime at the same hours, something remarkable happened. Within a few weeks, her body began to find its natural rhythm again. It feels like my clock found me, she said, smiling. The key is gentle consistency. Try to get natural light within an hour of waking. Open the blinds, step outside, or sit near a sunny window. Keep lights dim and screens off in the evening so your body knows night has begun. Have meals at roughly the same times each day, since your digestive system helps set your internal rhythm too. And if you use melatonin, do so only under your doctor's guidance. Even small doses can be powerful in an older body. So the next time you wake before dawn, don't see it as your body failing you. It's simply adjusting, searching for balance. Your nights aren't broken, they're being rewritten into a new pattern, one that still holds peace and rest, just at a different hour. And that brings us to the heart of it all, what these 5 shifts truly mean. They're not signs that life is fading. They're proof that your body, even after 8 decades, still knows how to adapt and keep you alive in its own remarkable way. 5 shifts. One message your body never stops adapting. Every change we've talked about, from the fading of taste to the rewiring of your brain and the flipping of your sleep clock, is your body's quiet way of staying alive, not giving up. These transformations may feel unfamiliar, but they're not signs of weakness. They're proof that even after 80 years, your system is still learning, still adjusting, still protecting you in its own gentle way. So instead of fighting these changes, maybe it's time to listen to them, to meet your body with patience and gratitude for all it continues to do. Because acceptance isn't surrender, it's wisdom. And as we move into the final part of this story, let's look at how to live with that wisdom every single day with calm, confidence, and care. Aging isn't decay, it's evolution. It's your body, after a lifetime of experience, shifting into a new rhythm that values preservation over performance. The slower steps, the lighter sleep, the quieter appetite, all of them are part of a deeper wisdom your body has earned. Yes, there are challenges, moments of forgetfulness, lingering cuts, or nights that feel too long. But through it all, your body continues to adapt, to learn, to keep you here. Every cell still listens, still works, still protects you in ways you might not see. Treat it with patience. Speak to it kindly. Curiosity and care are the greatest medicines you can offer yourself now. So, which of these changes surprised you most? Maybe it's the way your brain remembers emotion better than facts, or how morning light can steady your entire day. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might help someone else feel less alone in theirs. And if this message brought you comfort or understanding, pass it on to a friend or parent who may need to hear it. 2. Because aging isn't something to fear, it's proof that life, even in its quietest years, keeps finding new ways to thrive. Thank you for spending this time together. Remember, every small step counts toward a calmer, healthier life. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.